and welcome to a brand new episode of NESportscast with Ricky and Larry. As always, Ricky joins here. Always, we are here. What's going on, Rick? How you been?
Yeah.
How's the week gone for you?
Good, man. Good. It's been all right. Been good. A bit boring week, obviously, with no football on, but it's just international break. I'm always the same when it's international break. I'm just like, meh.
Yeah, not really interested.
Just count down the days to the Prem started on the 1st. Yes. And what the games are going to start as well, by the way, to kick us off. But we'll get into that.
We're definitely going to have, obviously, a dedicated podcast closer to the time for that because I think it deserves it. You know, we've got the last 10 games, 11 games. We're going to make some predictions for the rest of the season. Who may win, who may not win, all that kind of good stuff. So just stick around. NESportscast, that's what we do, but that's going to be in a week's time. So, yeah. But no, look, you're right. You know, international week, what the hell? Is it necessary at this point in the season? Just let it crack on. The thing is, if you let it crack on, the season will finish earlier. Then you can do your 2 weeks internationals. And then they can go on their breaks. Like, why don't you just do that?
Yeah, I think as well, like what they need to do is, like you say, let the season finish early, then just go and have like a little mini tournament to qualify for the major tournament. Yeah. If that makes sense. I mean, do you know what I mean? So it's like get the teams together. Whoever wins their groups, okay, you're going to be there. Whoever comes third, right, you guys have got a knockout phase, and just do that for 2 weeks rather than these 2 week breaks mid-season. It's just like, oh no, I don't. I'm against it.
That's a month, right? That's a month worth of like international football during one season, or am I wrong? Is it longer?
Well, yeah. From 2 weeks. The next 2 ones are around October. So yeah, I think so. Like I think it's about a month and a little bit. Two weeks.
Two weeks. Yeah. So roughly about a month, or
give or take a month. Yeah.
See, a month, right? So the Premier League doesn't finish in May. Finishes in April. Then in May they can do their
They can do what they want to do. Yeah.
Just let the season go.
Let them crack on.
Whatever. Look, that's for higher powers. We do not get paid enough to do any of that strategic stuff. So, but yeah, did you watch any of the England match?
20 minutes of this England versus Ukraine.
Yeah,
and I switched it off because I saw the lineup. Obviously, we watched it because my daughter loves singing "God Save the King."
Yeah, of course.
And she's like always calling me over, "Daddy, they're doing God Save the King."
Are you singing
it as
well?
Yeah. We've been singing it. We kind of embraced that moment, the national anthem. And then I looked at the lineup and I saw Jude Bellingham. What's his other name? Jordan Henderson and Declan Rice. And I was like, why is he playing with these mandems? Like Jude Bellingham's a centre mid. Doesn't matter if he's trying to play him as a 10. I just did not understand why. I know it's a qualification game and it's an important game, but play with 2 up the top. Go give Ivan Toney and Harry Kane a run together. Just
against
play 4-4-2
as well. Yeah,
against a Ukraine team who are just going to sit back. And that's why I didn't understand it. To me, although they won. What was it? 2-0, 2-1. What did they win?
Yeah, 2-0.
2-0. They won 2-0. Got the job done. Fair enough. But just like you'd want to hope more. I was driving after the match, and on TalkSport they were talking about how boring the second half was, and a meme popped up on my phone where Harry Redknapp before talks about how excited he is for the Prem to be back, and he's mentioning how he just could not believe England are playing against some team like Malta. I'm paraphrasing here.
Yeah.
And number 18 works at a checkout on a weekend, but he just got together and he's just thinking, why? And he just turns it off.
Yeah, like a San Marino team, isn't it?
Stuff like that, yeah. Just like you think to yourself, like, what is going on there? Yeah. And another thing is as well is, we look amazing. We as England look amazing at against Italy. Okay, we won 2-1, 2-0, whatever it was. Again, you can tell by my lack of knowledge on the results how much I cared about it, but it always comes to the most important bit is the tournaments. I shared a meme on the group. Harry Kane, how many goals? Nothing on when he was 22. More goals at 29. Still won nothing apart from an Audi Cup. And you think to yourself, like, I don't want to call them failures, but it's not, if you don't win, it's Spursy again.
Yeah, definitely not a failure, but I think he's made some wrong decisions in his career, to be fair. I
agree. He should have left.
He probably had the fantasy or the dream that, he was the one that's gonna win Tottenham the first Premier League in ever. You know what I mean? Or like major cup. But unfortunately, the Spursian syndrome is strong.
He would have been immortal. If that had happened, he would have been immortal. But for that Eden Hazard goal, on the year that Leicester won it and we drew 2-2 against Spurs. That's like that. And then you've got to realise, you go to a Champions League final and you don't win that neither. Then you go to a Carabao Cup final and your president sacks, of whatever you want to call him, president, CEO, whatever Daniel Levy is, sacks the manager who's won the most trophies, well, not most trophies, but a winning manager in Jose Mourinho 6 days prior to your final. You've got to think to yourself, what's the mentality of this club, and do I want to continue to end my career here? Because that's all he'll be remembered for. He'll be remembered for not winning anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many records he breaks. For me, you've got to win something. Like, you can't tell your kids, I've scored 700 goals. Oh, where's your medals, Grandad? Well, here's this Audi Cup one that we won in Asia when we were touring.
Well, there was a team called Spurs, Tottenham Hotspurs, one time, but obviously they're defunct now because they went bankrupt because they didn't win shit.
Yeah,
700
exactly.
years, son, so.
What team did you play for? Oh, well, it was a team, like you say, exactly.
No,
had to fold.
It doesn't exist. There's only one team in North London. So anyway, moving on.
Get that in there. Get that in there.
But look, fair enough to him. He's broken the record for most England goals, like we said. But at the end of the day, it's just a waste, and just a Spursian thing to do.
Yeah.
But I do have to talk about Saka though, because he was in the first half. By the way, first half against Ukraine, I watched
today,
today's match. I watched that again, first half only because.
Like me, you've got better things to do.
Yeah, I've got busy afternoons and stuff. So, but I watched that. Saka was lively. He obviously he assisted. He scored. You can't ask for any more than that. In an important-ish game. Well, it's an important game, isn't it? Because it's a qualifier. So.
It's a qualifier, yeah.
So it's an important game. So fair dues to him. Ukraine, they didn't really offer anything. Zinchenko does Zinchenko things with his passing, but he doesn't have the players there to sort of reciprocate. You know what I mean? To receive those passes and that brain. I watch Mudryk. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what and why was he worth that much? I just cannot understand. This guy cannot make a pass. And look, in a Chelsea team, we've said it. We've given him the benefit of the doubt. It's all right, new team, new league, blah blah blah, more intensity. But he's playing in an international game. He's played there before with the same players. You know what I mean? And he still can't receive a pass. I saw him a couple of times. He just could not receive a pass just outside the box. Could have been in. Could have done something special. Just couldn't receive it. And I laughed. I genuinely laughed because he's worth that much money. And it feels like so far, I said it on the group, didn't I? I said, so far it feels like we've dodged a bullet.
Yeah, you put it in the chat, yeah.
It just feels that way. Maybe he's going to be great next season, and I'm going to be the one who goes, do you know what? Mudryk was brilliant. Jorge,
I backed him all the time. I backed him the whole way.
Yeah. Like Jorge,
I knew he was going to be, yeah.
But yeah, exactly. So it was a bit disappointing to see, to be fair.
I think on that team as well. Like I say, like you, I watched that 20 minutes. I don't even think I called I didn't watch the goals, so I don't even know when they scored.
I think it was. But, let me just check, because again, it was 37th and 40th minute. So
so I gave up way before then, and it was just a poor game. Looked like everything that Ukraine were doing was trying to keep the ball, and I got the feeling that they were trying to just slow the game down to kind of run the clock down and get a point.
Yeah.
Their fans were amazing. I saw that at the beginning when they were jumping up, doing the kind of that sort of German Italian, where they kind of arms linked in top of each other's shoulder and just bounce up and down. That looked fantastic. But yeah, it was just a slow game. England struggled to break down. A couple of minutes I saw Ben Chilwell trying to get up top and put a ball in, but whoever was left wing,
Chilwell was lively, by the way.
Chilwell was lively, but Maddison, every time Maddison got the ball, he wanted to cut inside. So then automatically we're playing with 2 10s, because Bellingham was a 10.
Bellingham was doing exactly that job, yeah.
So was Maddison, and I was like, now what's happening? If he needs somebody else, so Chile can kind of overlap, and that's where I think we missed the trick. But yeah, like I said, with these little things in the first half, I was just like, no. But Ukraine were just poor. They wanted to keep the ball. Okay, that some of them tried to pass, but they didn't have the players around them. They just didn't have the quality. The quality at all. There was no outball for Ukraine as well. Every time the ball got forward, it came back straight away. The big boy at the top, whatever his name was, who was trying to be centre forward, a couple of times he was like left wing, and him and Mudryk were in the same. Mudryk were in the same position, and then I could see players on the pitch arguing with each other, saying "What are you doing? Get in your position." Yeah. So it's one of those things. That's for me. It was just like nah. And with regard to Mudryk, we've said it a couple of times. Is he needing to settle in the Prem? Is what's going on? But you're right. In the national team, he's played there before. He knows these guys. What could it be? What's causing him to maybe people a lot smarter than I have made the decision to pay 100 million. So now we need to know why have they paid that much. Well, basically, we need to see it. So
he was subbed off as well. Like at the 60th
or was he
minute,
taken off?
He was subbed off, and look, it doesn't mean much, but it doesn't really fill you with confidence. With for a player, like we said, like we just said, who's meant to be this, up and coming. Like at least show me some glimpses. If you're taken off in the 80th minute because you showed some glimpses, that's fine. You know what I mean? Whatever. But if you haven't done any, it was disappointing to watch from him. But like I said, for Saka, I was shit. Like I'm glad they plays for my team. That's all I'm gonna say. He's such a great player.
He's a fantastic footballer, Saka.
He took
I didn't watch anything, but he
took a nice shot from outside the box. Sort of stepping to his left, curled it in just from outside the box, and it was pretty decent. But again, it was a Ukraine team that it seemed like they haven't trained together for a while or something because of something that's gone on.
Well, even if they were to train, where are they going to train? Because it's not like they're going to travel back to Ukraine to do training. So where are they training?
It seems like there's something going on that has stopped them from training.
I feel like even before the match, there's a lot of things around the war now. Every time Ukraine play, there seems to be a documentary with the president. Every time Ukraine facing anybody, it's like So there was I think I caught it on before. Because I was like, right, let's have a look here. Let's see what the commentary's saying. I saw the lineup. Obviously, Luke Shaw couldn't play, so I was like, Chilwell needs to start. Possibly place Conor Gallagher in a 10 as well.
Chilwell needs to start from now on, by the way.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was fantastic. And the 20 minutes that I saw, I can't really make the full judgment on.
First half, at least, it was, yeah.
I feel like with Ukraine, everything is overshadowed. The war is overshadowing anything an athlete from Ukraine does, either the national team or individual athletes in other sports. Everything comes back to how do you feel? Tell us a sub story. Listen, it's incredibly sad what's going on there, and hopefully peace is resolved soon. But I feel like everything else overshadows the athlete's achievement or the athlete's ability for that sporting event. So today they were talking about Bear Grylls. It felt like the commentators for the sport were more interested in Bear Grylls doing an interview and a documentary series with President, what's his name, Zelensky.
Yeah, I'm just shaking my head right now.
I can tell.
That can't
it's
see.
Football. It's football. Let's focus on what they achieved. We understand what they've gone through. We understand what they're having to go through each day. But at the end of the day, we're talking about football, so try to give the team some spirit, live in the present. What's going on back home for you guys, it's incredibly sad, but you're here to try and do a job and qualify. Give the fans home anyway. There's something to cheer about.
It's a case of the fans turned up, but the team didn't, type of thing. So,
the fans were there, but the team, like you say, they didn't. And another thing is, every time each player gets interviewed, like I saw the interview with what's his name, Zinchenko, and all he kept talking about, bless him. And listen, it's sad. Obviously, we know all about this as well. It's we've got family back home. The circumstances are not ideal. Some people don't want to leave, and rightly so. It's their land. But at the end of the day, you want to talk to him about the incredible season he's having at Arsenal. What impact is that going to have on the national team? Does he feel comfortable playing in centre midfield? Not how do you feel about what Putin's done to Ukraine? It's been going on for 3 years now. I assume 2 years, 3 years. How long has it been going on for? So we all know what Putin has done to Ukraine.
It's just past a year, to be fair. So
just past a year. So exactly. But it feels all the time, and I'm not against it. I'm not trying to be like, oh, he's good or anything. I don't condone any of it. I'm just saying, in terms of sport, ask the question so these players can be prepared for the event ahead, rather than reflect on what is going on. So they automatically, in that sort of negative psychological state, thinking, feel sorry for me, how sad. So these are the things that I've always feel like it's something is just, personally, like I said earlier, it should more or less focus around, you're doing really well for Arsenal. Can you transfer the form you're having for Arsenal into the national team? Do you think, as the captain, the players can achieve anything? Do you think you can go somewhere? Yeah, nothing else to do with. But anyway, it's difficult to touch on this because of the cancel culture, but that's currently how I feel, because I felt like they were defeated before they even started.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
that's the only thing I can put.
It seemed that way, to be fair. So you can't, in a way, you can't blame them. But at the same time, if they're at that sort of state, if you will, then why play the game at all? Like you said, just
that's it. Yeah,
something else to help your situation rather than play this football game. Which people are like, oh, well, that helps the spirit and all that stuff. Yeah, okay, spirit, but let's be real about it. Spirit ain't going to build a building. So
Yeah.
It's
That's it.
one of those situations. But
it's going to build up spirit of competing, but then if you don't win and put a performance in, it's very quickly going to knock the spirits down again.
Straight away.
Then you got to question whether the spirits are going to be at that level that they were at, or they're going to be knocked further down after a 2-0 defeat, and so on and so forth. Like for me now, the spirits are down. If they didn't play, I'll be like, I understand why they're not playing because of what's going on. Yeah. If they play and get beat, I'm like, and then I listen to all that pre-match analysis, which has got nothing to do with footballers. Everything is to do with the war.
Of course it does, yeah.
Then you think,
oh, well, this and that. It always bring it back to that.
Everything comes back to that, yeah.
Which, it's not ideal for any of us, really. So, I don't really have much to say on the Ukraine game, nor the Italy game, but I do want to say that, Luke Shaw is a dirty player sometimes.
I saw what he did. I saw that because I heard about that and I quickly Googled what he had done.
He's a dirty
That was a dirty challenge. That was unnecessary.
Unnecessary. They were 2-1 up at this point. Like, you don't need to do that. Just have some self-control. But no, that was something that I wanted just to quickly touch on because, I don't accept that from an international player. And yet again, Southgate opts with, Pickford, Shaw, Maguire, Stones, and Kyle Walker. Like, fair enough, the last two, but the first three, Pickford, Maguire, and Shaw, you got Chilwell sat on the bench and see what
he's loyal, isn't he? He's loyal. He's too loyal to these players. Maddison got interviewed as well, and he was on TalkSport. They were talking about him playing again, and he said, I'm glad I made it into the team. We know Gareth is loyal. Now, I was like, oh, should you maybe have said that or not? Because that's probably not going to result in you being picked again. Because he doesn't like to
play that well as well. Yeah. It's kind of like maybe don't bite the hand that
he said what everybody's thinking. He's loyal to the players that he's always picked. Harry Maguire, Calvin Phillips, who played in Italy. He played Calvin Phillips. Did he feature in these?
Yeah, he did.
And you think to yourself,
it's madness in itself, really. It's madness in itself. And
I can't believe it, but it is what it is. It's these kind of things where you win these little competition against these teams, and then you go to a championship and you play against France, and then you put these players on, then these players get exposed. So I don't know what has happened between him and Ben White, or England camping Ben White, but Ben White really needs to be on that team.
Yeah, I think so as well. Especially for that right back role. Walker does his thing, but even Pep's looking to replace him. Because he's just becoming stale.
He's a liability. He's
becoming stale, and again, it's similar with Luke Shaw as well, as he's proven himself. He was having a decent match, but then he goes and does that type of shit. So again, that's why I'm not really that interested in the England squad right now. And same as you, probably, it's the fact that it's the same team, and we know what football we're going to expect. It doesn't matter who's in the midfield.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Makes no difference. Obviously, Tony, Grealish, they made an appearance by the end, but again, as in a game against Ukraine, don't you want to be testing those players out properly? It's a proper European game. Why not put Harry Kane on? Second half, for example. There's certain things that he should be doing differently, where it just keeps the opponent guessing, because now they're like, oh, Maguire's in the field.
Especially at 2-0 up, isn't it? Especially at 2-0 up, you can change it around a little bit to test these players in a what's what I'm looking for? In a game that actually means something, rather than a pointless friendly. Competitive, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. A competitive game like against Ukraine, rather than a friendly, which is probably going to happen soon against, I don't know, Moldova, or no disrespect to Moldova or San Marino, but these nations are not really known for their incredible football, are they? So
no.
So this is the thing. So there's no point then putting on an Ivan Toney then to score 7-8 goals. That gives you literally nothing when he's playing against amateur footballers or semi-pro footballers. It just doesn't tell you anything. And again, today was the day.
Doesn't fill him up with confidence either, and that's the issue. So and then obviously it's like, well, okay, I've been picked for the England team, but I'm just going to be sat on the bench when I could just be playing this game against Ukraine. It's craziness. But not really interested that much, but what was it? Iceland won 7-0, by the way.
I saw that.
I saw that. Fair enough. It's, happy days. They came, they conquered, that type of stuff. And nice to see. And San Marino only lost by 2, which is probably a record in itself. I don't know. San Marino, the team that get whipped all the time, everywhere they go. So, but yeah,
Well, I think the surprising victory is Kazakhstan beating Denmark. 3-2. Yeah,
3-2. Yeah,
115th in the world. Wow.
With 10 men, but that came after the third goal. So
10 men was 96 minutes or something. It's probably a dirty challenge to slow someone down.
Just elbowed someone in the face or something like that. But 3-2 against Denmark, that's got to be embarrassing. Can we just have a look at the lineup real quick of Denmark? Schmeichel in goal. Schmeichel in goal. God damn, he's still playing. Norgard, Højbjerg, Damsgaard, and I don't really care.
Højbjerg's in there. Spurs.
Yeah, so at least some proper elite experience. But you're getting beat by Kazakhstan. What is happening?
Yeah, that's just like.
And Portugal won 6-0. So
I saw that. Yeah. I saw Portugal winning 6-0. And tomorrow, obviously, is a big game as well. Tomorrow night, Poland, Albania.
Yes, we're going to be watching that. Well, I say I'm going to be watching that. I'll watch a little bit. If it gets boring, then I'm not going to watch that. But I'll maybe do a manager in Slovenia. So, that should be interesting.
See what happens.
Should be interesting. Hopefully, bring some decent football to it. But anything else you want to add on the Euros?
In terms of nationals, not really, mate. Like I said to you, for me personally, I believe like the Premier League should just run through, and then automatically in the end have a competition where these games are happening every 3 weeks. Have a month of European qualifiers, and then go from there. Every summer, then you have a competition.
Yeah, I think that's. I genuinely think that's a great idea, to be fair. So, people let us know if you want to start a petition about this, we'll do it.
Because think about it, even if it's for the World Cup, it's never sort of England, Brazil or anything. It's always like European teams against each other for the World Cup. Yeah. Then it's sort of South American, North American teams, African teams, etc. Each continent sort of seems to have their own players or their own competition for it. So just do that in a month. Just do that in 1 month's time. Television rights, I'm sure like we'll all get to watch Argentina, Brazil trying to qualify.
That'd be amazing. Do you
know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't even need to watch a World Cup, just watch that all the time.
Yeah, just make it, if anything, make it like a big league. Same thing like they are now with seven groups. Just play that for a month.
They just need to make it more elite, to be honest, because there's just not enough eliteness about the World Cup.
No,
you know what I mean? I don't know what it is. It's
trying to be inclusive, isn't it? It's trying to include everybody in each part of the world. But at the end of the day, like you will end up losing audience. You'll lose spectators when you're watching teams who are not at the elite level competing against teams who are at the elite level.
Which is, but like obviously that's why they have the qualifications and stuff, for that to not happen. But if you involve, like you said, if you involve everyone, then at least a few of those teams are going to make it through.
Some will go through. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So, that's it. I agree. I totally agree.
It's like watching that first game, Qatar versus whoever we watched, and we're like, what are we watching?
No, was it Qatar?
Why are we wasting Qatar, Ecuador, I think it was, and they got beat 2-0 or 3-0, and we're like, why are we even watching this?
Yeah, no, that was not good. Let's not go through that again, please. But
each competition becomes exciting towards the knockout phase. Say with Champions League, when you're watching some teams, you're like, who's playing?
Yeah, and like you just have the World Cup instead of a month, you have it for like 2 weeks, and that's only the knockout stage. Knockout stages. The rest of the games can happen periodically. But we'll have to overhaul international football real quick as well. Thomas Tuchel on football.
Yes, TT making it
over Bayern. It'd be weird if it's going to be a Chelsea Bayern in the final.
It's going to be. We won't be Chelsea Bayern. If Chelsea win, it'll be Chelsea Bayern semi.
Oof.
So like a very tough route for Chelsea to get to the final. Real Madrid and then City or Bayern in the semis.
Even better.
I know.
It's going to be interesting. If you look,
he'll get regardless. He'll get a good reception. No matter what happens, he'll get a very good, because he's loved by fans. He's not only loved by me, but he's loved by fans in that short period of time. It's the way he carried himself, and I think he'll do amazing things at Bayern as well, because he's a top manager. If the players buy into what he's selling, then he'll become. Well, you saw yourself what happened that first time he came. He transformed the team. Okay, it took a couple of results, a couple of 0-0s, 1-1s, but he transformed the team into playing a certain style what I liked about him is we will build a team that everyone's going to be afraid of to play against, and we were missing that striker. He thought Lukaku was his answer. Initially, you're like, oh, get in. What he did to Pablo Mari, the Arsenal game, I think we won 3-1 or 2-1, I think 3-1, something like that. I
don't even want to talk about it. But
No, I know, but in terms of just Lukaku, just kind of like
he was,
stepping back on it, looking at it, you think like that was a beast. Oh my God, what's Chelsea bought here? 100 million, looks really cheap. And then that interview comes out and you're like, oh.
Everyone thought that Chelsea were going to win the league.
Yeah, but we were 5 points clear.
Yeah.
We were 5 points clear at that time. When we played Arsenal, we were literally 5 points clear.
And he dropped that.
And then he dropped the interview, and then all of a sudden Chilwell and Reece James got injured, and we just started dropping down the league. And then I think we struggled to make top 4 and scraped by.
Yeah,
we finished third.
It wasn't the best. Obviously, what could have been, but down to one player. So
It's that, and it's the fact that we played, and he reached each final. Fair enough, he didn't reach Champions League final, but FA Cup and Carabao Cup, we were in both finals, lost on penalties or lost penalties. I think we lost to both to Liverpool in penalties.
You did. Yeah,
and even the penalties went all the way to the keepers. Yeah,
went all the way to the end.
And kept missing. Like it's just things like that. Like they're not down to the manager when it's penalties.
No,
but
definitely not. You can only do so much as a manager.
Can only do so much, exactly. And for me, like I've praised him, I've echoed what I feel about him all the time, and I think, I would love to have seen him back at Chelsea. But wish him all the best, and hopefully we beat him in the semis.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
get past Real first. I know.
Let's talk about that first, and then you can get to actually beating Bayern. But look, obviously it was going to be a short pod anyway because there's not really much going on, even in F1 news as well. I'm just, I haven't seen anything that's worthy. But obviously we've got the F1 coming back on the weekend.
Yes, but I wanted to touch very quickly on Verstappen's dad.
Yeah.
Not celebrating when Checo went up to the team, and that was dirty. Yeah. That was that reminded me of the same time as when I watched the interview with, is it Debris over Yuki, who said like, I'm just I got that same feeling, that same emotion where you think like, you prick. He was a nobody during his racing days. He was a nobody. He's trying to live his glory days through his son.
And that's why he's pushing him so hard. That's why he's always like, second. That's why Max is the way he is because of because of his dad. And like you said, who was Verstappen? Like if I remember correctly, he was always like in the 18th, 19th position.
Yeah.
I don't remember him doing anything, but I remember his name. But that's as far as it goes. That goes with that. But like
I couldn't believe that. That was
be
dirty,
especially with a teammate.
The guy was next to him, and he's got like stone cold face looking forward, and I'm thinking like, he's just a prick, like such a prick move. Because Hamilton's dad even shook Max's hand when Verstappen won controversially in Saudi that time.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't know his dad's name. Abu Dhabi. Sorry, his dad's name. But he walked up to him and shook his hand and kind of congratulated him. Do you see that? Like when they made the comparison between it, and you think
I was near the trailers. I saw that. Yeah, that was pretty good of him, to be fair. But anyway, look, Abu Dhabi 2021 was just a crazy thing.
It's gone. It's gone. Crazy year all around.
But I think I've got a feeling that it's probably peaked. F1 peaked in 2021. Now it's just going to go down the route of like one team winning it for the rest of the 5 seasons, or until the rule change
5-6 seasons. Yeah.
So in 2026 rules
until Audi joined.
Yeah. Well, let's see. But obviously, just quick thing on Ferrari. By the way, like I've been listening, I've been reading some stuff on Ferrari, and these guys are having some internal war, like a civil war. Honestly, I think there's something to do with the owner that's he's just taken over and he's getting too involved in the F1 team, and it's not really going that great. And remember, we were talking about on the last podcast, Laura Miekis. Honestly, when I heard it on someone like a professional say it, I was like, oh, that's so good, because I don't feel like it's hit now. Like I kind of know what I'm talking about a little bit, but there's something going on there with Ferrari, because it just seems like they're going to go right down the order.
Picking order, yeah.
And it's just, how do you go from last season to this? It's incredible.
Well, they've got to be careful, because look at McLaren. They were where they were, and now where are they now? Like a decade later, where's McLaren now?
Yeah, they haven't been themselves.
They haven't been, exactly. So it's very easy. Once you fall down, it's very difficult to kind of find that 2 seconds again to try and catch up with the big boy. So either you stay consistently at the top and invest well and you employ the right people, or alternatively, you could face yourself having a mountain to climb to get back to third. In the Constructors' Championship.
That's all they're hoping for, because I know they can't compete with Red Bull, which in itself is a sad thing to say, because McLaren, Ferrari, historic teams, they can't compete with Red Bull.
Yeah.
An energy drinks company, let's just face it.
Yeah,
it's sad to hear about it, but like you said, investments have been done properly, and obviously, Ferrari and McLaren, they've just kind of sat on the laurels, like, oh, we're a historic team, we can do what we need to do.
Yeah.
You can't if you don't have the investment, the right strategy to go forward. You can't. And the problem with McLaren is that they've been sort of planning to get to where the rest of the teams are now, the top teams are now, but then by the time they get there, the other top teams have already
like 4 or 5 seconds ahead. They've
already moved on, and
it's I think it was this. I'll paraphrase a little bit of what Alonso said, and he said it's a breath of fresh air being at Aston, because they're not talking about being the best of the middle bunch. They're talking about just being the best, full stop.
Yeah. And that's what Fernando needs. That's what Alonso needs.
That's what every team needs to aim for, though. Why are you aiming to be better than Haas and Alpine and so on and so forth? Aim to be the best, full stop.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because you set limitations to yourself to be like, oh, we're going to finish third. You know what I mean? It's like trying to do an exam and be like, I'm just going to aim for a C.
Yeah.
Like, no, bro, like aim for the A, and then if you fall short, you get the C.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you aim. I understand why they could do it because of obviously potential investors. They're like, well, you told me you were going to win a championship, and you're going to battle at the top, and
maybe, but still,
I guess they have to be kind of realistic. But you're right, though. You're right. If you're the top 20 drivers in the world, elite drivers in the world, then you should be competing for first. If you're competing for 10th, then no, you shouldn't be even a driver. That's
it. Yeah,
I've been a professional driver, so I can't really say if that mindset is safe, is good or not. But that's just looking from the outside, like what you're competing for. What's 10th going to give you? Where's that trophy? What a trophy, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, in layman's terms, where's the trophy, Harry?
Yeah. Where's the trophy, Harry? Exactly. Do you want to be
That's literally the title of this. This is the title of this podcast. Yeah, where's the trophy, Harry?
Yeah, exactly. Love it. Where's the trophy? Love it. That's going to be it.
That's the title.
That's going to be it. Yeah. But yeah, look. Like we said, it was going to be a short pod anyway, just to say hello. And
a lot of people are only making short journeys now, so this is enough to stimulate them in their short trips.
Yeah, we're just checking up on each other at the same time. So I'm good, you're good. Love it.
All love, nothing but love.
But okay. In that case, then we'll leave it here. We'll get this podcast out obviously on the regular time. So thank you so much for listening. We will catch you on the next one. Stay safe. Stay alert.